What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here, back with another video. So real quickly before we get started, yes, I did finally see Captain America: Brave New World. Um, I have thoughts on it. We'll discuss that in tomorrow's video. But for now, we've got three new things in front of me right now. Technically four, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the figures, and then we'll go on to the uh, cylinder behind it. Okay, now, like I said, I did see Captain America: Brave New World. I actually thought it was a really good movie. I know there's a lot of people out there that disagree, and I get it. I understand why people don't like it. It's not the strongest MCU movie, or Captain America movie for that matter, but in my opinion, there was enough there to leave me satisfied and enjoyed, or have enjoyment with it. So I was pleasantly surprised. I actually gave the movie a chance. And it was actually, in my opinion, it was actually really good. I'd say it's about on par with the first Captain America movie, which is saying something. So anyway, they had these at Cinemark. I've been looking to get a bucket specifically for chips and whatnot because I don't actually eat popcorn. Popcorn was never one of my favorite things to have, but I do have, so I'll have Goldfish or Doritos or something. So this will be nice, and whatnot. It was about $25, and you have a nice handle of Red Hulk. And Red Hulk actually does kind of look like Harrison Ford. Yeah, it doesn't really translate well on camera, but there you go. There's the face. Well, blurred, but there you go. Does that not look a little bit like Harrison Ford? Just a little bit. Looks like Red Hulk is eyeing the popcorn or whatever you put inside this thing that you really want. So that's it looked cool, and I've been looking to get something like this for a while. And I missed out on the Deadpool and Wolverine version of this, where it was Deadpool on one side and Wolverine on the other. But this will do. And it works just as well, so, yay. Full disclosure, I have not seen all of The Mandalorian yet. I've only seen the first two seasons. I have not watched season 3 yet. It is on my list of things to do before too much longer. Just know I haven't watched it, so please, I don't want to know anything about these. I already know enough about them to review them, but we'll go ahead and go from there. So we're going to start with the droid first, and then we're going to go on to the Mandalorian. So let's go ahead and get him out of the way. So these obviously are not a 2-pack. They were sold individually. This guy was actually on clearance. He comes with, obviously, Grogu, and 2 Anzellans, I believe is what these things are called. These little dudes are called. And right now I have the IG unit holding the Anzellans with Baby Yoda or Grogu. In this little cockpit, you simply just lower that down. And there's some joysticks and whatnot that you can actually pose Grogu's hands on top of, so that way you can have him control it or have these little dudes control it. The head actually has three places of swivel. You've got the main neck up here at the bottom, up here in the midsection, up here again on the second midsection, and then obviously from this point up, everything is all. Oh no, actually that does rotate separately, so I'll take that back. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces all swivel individually of each other. That is insane for something like this. But looks cool, functions well, looks like an IG unit. It's got some white stuff or white paneling and stuff. These these rubber gaskets actually split in half down the middle to give you an articulation bend. These wires are just rubbery plastic. Same thing up here. You've got a ball joint up here. Some more fake wires and stuff along his back. These actually came out of their spot, but that's okay. Grogu and the Anzellans are all articulated. So if you guys are looking to get this guy, I got him for $20 on Walmart at a discount because they were putting everything on clearance. So he was, cheaper than, he was originally. But honestly, it's not bad. I literally just got this for Grogu because you can't have the Mandalorian without Grogu. So that's the only reason I even picked this guy up. And speaking of the Mandalorian, we've got him right here. Now, I was not the biggest fan of the show when it first started. I will admit that. But then as I started watching the show and actually watching it, I grew to like it, and I thought it ended up being really good. It's probably the best thing in Star Wars currently, aside from Kenobi. I actually did like Kenobi. But I ended up picking up this guy to go along with Grogu, because, duh. But I have actually some slightly negative thoughts on this guy, and it's stupid stuff, but we'll get to that in a minute. For one, obviously, he doesn't have an interchangeable face. There is something underneath his helmet you can kind of see, right there where his chin would be, but it's just painted silver plastic, or molded in silver plastic. It's not actually done anything with, and whatnot. I do know he gets the Darksaber in, I believe, Season 2 or Season 1. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched The Mandalorian. You can actually remove the Darksaber blade from the Darksaber, hilt. And then there's a small little hook right there on his belt with and then there's a small ring on the Darksaber. You can actually pop that on right there. Bada bing, bada boom. You can have this Darksaber stored on the Mandalorian. While we're back here, the Mandalorian gets a jetpack in Season 2. That I do know. And he's got a spot molded for it with a peg port right there on his back and 3 clips. But no jetpack. What the hell, man? This dude is a Mandalorian. They are known to have jetpacks. And especially in Season 2, Mando actually gets a jetpack. And he comes with nothing. So, I don't know why they did that. Missed opportunity, in my opinion. But, these things are intended for children and blah, 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 blah. They're not going to go full on out. Or they're not going to go all out with the stuff like that. Just like these panels right here, they're actually supposed to be stark white, not dirty yellowish green. Or tan, or whatever you want to call them. But, it makes sense. They're dirty and whatnot. And if I remember correctly, wasn't his flight suit actually gray, not brown? I could be misremembering that. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched the show. And also, he comes with a dagger and a gun. You can store the gun on the holster just fine. But there's no holster for his knife anywhere. And there's no hook ring on here, so you can't actually hook it on his belt. And there's no spots to put it on his bandolier here. So I just said screw it, and I put the knife in the gun holster as well, just so that way I had all the accessories out and I could dispose of the boxes, because I don't ever keep the boxes for some reason. So bite me. I don't have to keep the boxes because I'm not a hardcore collector. Anyway, not bad though. I do like the shiny metallic finish. The leg pads up here. I believe this was actually supposed to be different colored. I can't remember. And then obviously he's got the Boba Fett style knee pad, as well as other canisters along his other foot, and then obviously at least sculpted tread around his boots. But all in all, not bad. I like the Mandalorian show. I mainly just got Grogu to go with him. And I got him for the Darksaber. But anyway, not bad. So let's go ahead and get on to the thing that is behind everything and get on to the more exciting part of this video. Okay, now you're probably looking at this thing saying, what in the hell is this thing? This, my friends, is actually the Hall of Armor from Avengers 1. Now you can technically fudge it and use it for any Iron Man suit that you want, but these panels do open, revealing a compartment inside, and yes, you can actually fit an Iron Man figure in there. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but you can see it has a cable running at the back into a USB port off camera. Flip a switch, and voila. The Hall of Armor is actually illuminated. So with virtually any Iron Man project, once I actually get a Tony Stark to go with it, this is how all of the suits are going to show up for either death battles or other videos involving Iron Man. Anytime he has to suit up, this is what's going to show up, just so that way it's all consistent. And then hopefully when Iron Man shows up in the connected universe and he has all the high-tech stuff, ready and simulated and established later on, I can use this, no issues, because people would already be used to it by now, or by then, because of it appearing in a handful of other videos. And then obviously when you're done, or once you have the suit that you want inside it put away, then you can simply just close it. It doesn't snap correctly because there's small little pegs that you can kind of see that it's supposed to click into to close everything up correctly, but I'm not going to force it because I don't want to break anything. And then obviously just simply open it back up when you're done. So, which is why I said when I reviewed Iron Man Mark 22 Hot Rod, I got that, or I not only got this suit because A, I like this suit, but B, I was going to use it as a test for a future item, which is what this thing is. So let's go ahead and stick Mark 22 inside the Hall of Armor. That looks really cool. That actually looks really good. I'm really now seriously tempted to get a second one of these things and a second hot rod and put that as a permanent display option. That looks so cool. At least to me it does. That looks really cool. Get Iron Man in the right position. That's cool. That looks really cool, man. I personally really like this thing. And yes, if you guys want to try to get one of these things, I will put a link in the description below if you want to try to get one. They are not cheap. Comparatively, these are about $75 after everything is said and done. So they're not the cheapest thing, but depending on how many you want to look at getting, they're not. It's if you're just doing one, that's fine. If you're doing two, like I'm thinking about doing, or seriously considering right now because of how good this looks, then you're going to be looking at a little bit more pricey. Or if you're going to do an entire Hall of Armors, there are different versions of that, or different versions of the Hall of Armor that are a lot cheaper, but they still give you the same effect. Or you can 3D print one if you have a 3D printer. I finally have a 3D printer that's actually hooked up and it's somewhat working, but we'll get to that in another video. But this works. So like I said, anytime Iron Man is going to show up in a video and he's not already suited up, he will be this will be used in those videos, just so that way it shows that Iron Man is ready. He's going to work. He's going to go kick whoever's ass he needs to kick, or get his ass kicked by whoever he needs to get his ass kicked by. And obviously this works more on just the Mark 22. It also works very nicely on the Mark 46. So to ignore the fact that he was just in a repulsor blasting pose. But again, if you pose this stuff right, the Hall of Armor does the rest, or does a lot of the major heavy lifting. So again, you pose it upright, place it, place Iron Man in a really good spot on the glowing display base on the bottom. You can get this thing looking as good as you want it to, and this actually does the heavy lifting versus the figure just stands there inside looking really nice. Also works with the Mark 85. So again, ignore the hands. I was trying to shoot a video with 85 not too long ago. That video failed, and it never saw the light of day. So again, looks really good with any Iron Man suit. But what about a War Machine suit? Let's take a look at that. So taking in the Mark 3 or 4, I believe. I think this is Mark 4. Oh no, it's Mark 3 because it says it right there. Let's go ahead and put the Mark III inside. Wow, he's a lot wider than his Tony Stark counterpart. But same scenario. If you wanted to have, if you have like a custom Colonel James Rhodes or whatnot, and you have this too, but you like Rhodey better than Tony, then you could always have, Rhodey go into his Hall of Armor, and then boom, it's right there. Actually gives it the really nice effect, actually. But I'm going to stick with Tony Stark on this particular, I guess you can say Hall of Armor. Now, I am curious on how it looks with a custom Iron Man suit in there, because, while, yes, I know this is not the best representation of Iron Man, it's still basically the Mark II from the Infinity Saga Marvel Legends line. So, technically, this is right, but okay, that's actually not bad. Actually, I'm ignoring the custom aspect and just looking at this as the Mark II. That's actually not bad. That actually looks really good. Okay, cool. So, okay, there you go. That's how this Hall of Armor thing works. I believe these are actually supposed to be lights as well. I don't know. I don't remember the pictures online. But there you go. That's actually really cool, man. So, like I said, if I remember where I got this thing from, there should be a link in the description below if you guys want to get one. They are about $75 after everything is said and done, so they're not the cheapest thing in the world, but they're not the most egregious, expensive things ever either. So, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Bye.